on Hawaiian punch. Oh, you like all this gush? Oh no, you can't get enough. Sipping on Hawaiian punch.
Hey, my name is Adeline Warren, and you're listening to Girl Talk. I like to say that I'm the big sister of the internet. You can watch me fuck up all you want, but hey, maybe we can learn something from it. I hope you enjoy. Hello, how you doing? How you doing this week? I hope that you're doing good. Today, so I did a little story time of like my worst date with a guy, and I thought that today we would be talking about my worst date story time with a girl, because I did like a 3-minute version on my TikTok, and if you've seen it, you've seen it. I don't know how many views it has. It has literally like almost 2 million views. It's like pinned to my profile because I thought I was like pretty good at storytelling in that one. And it's kind of like a get ready with me and stuff like that. But today I really wanted to dive into it, and I really wanted to like talk about it, about my first date with a girl and how awful it was. And I literally ended the day looking like this. If you're on the video version, I literally looked like this. Oh my God. I was bawling my eyes out at the end of the day. I was so sad. Like I feel like when you become, or you're realizing your sexuality, you're figuring it all out, you're bisexual, whatever it is, you're very insecure within your sexuality. You don't know. I'm like, oh, is this really what I like? Like, am I not gay enough? Am I not straight enough? Am I not this? Am I not that? Like, what am I doing wrong? Am I a girl virgin? Like, there's so many things that goes in your head when you go on a date. And on top of that, it was literally the worst fucking date ever. But yeah, I hope that the girl is well. I hope that she's thriving. I think I still have her on my like random account that I have, because I never tell people like that I do social media, because I like to get to know people on my own terms, and I like them to get to know me like in person and like for real, and not just like watch my vlogs and like get to know me through that, because that's kind of weird as fuck. So yeah, I don't tell anyone that I'm like a YouTuber or like social media person, but it is really easy to find out. You just like Google Adeline Warren and you just find it. And a lot of times I just have my name, or I don't know, but it's really easy to find me, but I just don't make it known that I do social media. Anyways, this is my first time going out with a girl, and it was my worst date story time with a girl, because I've been on other dates with girls, and honestly, it was a lot. Maybe we just like didn't have a lot of like chemistry or like romantic chemistry, but like I don't want to spoil it too much, but I've had other dates where we had chemistry and like it was great, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like I really feel confident about my sexuality. Like this is what I like. I really like girls. But this date, I ended up crying at the very end of the night because I was so sad, so invalidated, the date was so bad, and I was so confused at the end of the night. Anyways, enough is enough. Let's start talking about it. Okay, so to set the scene, I was in Toronto. I've been on the apps here and there. Here's the thing is, when you're trying to meet a partner, it's really easy to meet like a guy when you're a girl, and like a girl when you're a guy, because most people are straight, and it's hard to assume if someone is gay or straight or bi. What I've learned within the past, couple years is that everyone's a little bit gay. Like, even, I don't know, I would be so insecure, and I'd be like, oh, I don't know if they are, like, blah, 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 but like, girl, just shoot your shot. And like, if they're not, then who cares? At least you tried. And it's just flattering for them, I guess, if you just hit on them and then they're straight. Like, it feels good to be hit on, especially by a girl. I feel like if I'm hit on by a guy, I'm not even fazed by it. I'm like, ugh, you men, you gross. Like, a man would like have sex with a pillow. Like, men are literally animals, and like their compliments don't mean anything. But when a girl hits on you, girl, that's a different type of fucking compliment. Like, that shit makes you feel good inside. That shit makes you feel good. Like, you know that she meant that compliment, because girls know how much it takes to have good eyeliner, to have nice lips, have good mascara. I'm gonna touch up my lips, actually. But yeah, to be hit on a girl, it feels good. You're like, oh, she meant it. Like, she really thought I was cute. Like, oh my God. Like, it feels good to be hit on by a girl. So don't be so shy. Don't be so shy to slide in the DMs, tell someone that she's pretty. And we can talk about it later, but feel like I've gotten better at hitting on girls because I feel like I used to approach in a very like friendly way, and it came off as like a friend kind of thing. But I feel like I know different ways to like hit on girls with it being flirty. But anyways, let's actually, sorry, I keep getting sidetracked. Let's get into the date. So to set the scene, we were in Toronto. And again, I feel like girls in Toronto are prettier than girls in LA just because I feel like in LA, girl, if you've been in LA, you know what the girls look like. Every girl looks the same. Like they're fucking, like every girl has had the same things done. And you know, like when you get things done, you end up looking like everyone else. And I just like, it's personally not my type. I like natural looking girls and like girls that, I don't know. I wouldn't say that I have like a type, but I like natural looking girls. So girls in Toronto, I feel like are prettier because they're more natural. And yeah, so there's this girl that I matched with. I forget which app it was. I think it was, I don't know. It was one of them. It was either Hinge, Bumble, or Tinder. I don't remember. But we were both femme girls, which again, this was my first date ever. I had no clue how the fuck the dynamic was. Because, you know, when you go out with a date on a guy, you know, the guy should like wine and dine you, like, you know, to be in your divine feminine energies, to like be able to accept when you go on a date with a guy, like he should be able to like, you know, provide for you, like go on a nice day, make the reservation, blah, blah, blah. And I had no idea how this shit works. Like, how does it work with two femme girls? Because like, I feel like I have friends that they have gone on dates and they've been in a relationship with like more mask girls, like more masculine girls. And I feel like the dynamic is obviously a lot easier to understand, but I feel like I just like what I like and I like femme girls. So we matched and I messaged her. We were messaging for a little bit and I was like, okay, I'm going to gather up the courage and I'm going to ask her out on a date. So I did it and I basically was like, hey, do you like want to meet at this place at this time? I planned it because I don't fucking know how this shit works. So I said it. She was really excited and she's never been to this place before. Sorry, I'm reading my notes. That's why I keep looking down. But I think at the time it was COVID and there like were no seats inside. You had to sit on the patio. And I think it was kind of colder outside, so we had to wear our jackets, but it was in the patio. They had like the fire shit on, the heaters on. And yeah, so the day of the date comes. I'm so fucking nervous because again, this is my first time. I literally felt like it's almost going on your first date with a girl is almost like going on your first date ever because you don't know what to expect. You don't know, you know, if you're going to like each other. You've never done this before. Like, you don't know, like, is it going to go well? Like, is it going to be awkward? Like, what do I do? Like, I feel like, you know, after a couple, like when you're in your 20s, you know how to go on a date. Like, you know, you've talked to, you know, flirted with guys before, blah, 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 blah. And I used to be so insecure. I'd be like, oh my God, this is like my first date with a girl. I've never like kissed a girl. Like, I mean, obviously I like kiss my friends, but that doesn't mean anything. But I've never like kissed a girl like romantically. I've never like been on a date with a girl. I've never hooked up with a girl. Like at the time I was like, oh my God, this shit is fucking scary. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to pretend that I'm going on a date with a guy. So I just, you know, got ready. I did my hair. I did my makeup. I looked all cute little outfit. We were going to the restaurant in the city because we're motherfucking city girls. Like I was really excited for it. So we arrived at the city. I think I drove. Did I drive or did I Uber? Oh no, I Ubered. Because I'm going to tell you the story at the end. I Ubered home. But yeah, I Ubered to the date because I knew that, you know, we'd probably have a drink or two. So we arrive at the date. I get there first and then I don't think she was late. She arrived on time. But we meet and she looks like she does in her photos. Thank God. I was scared of getting catfished. I was a little bit scared because I don't know. You never know, especially, you know, it's your first date. You don't know what's going to happen. So I'm really happy that she looked like her photos. We sit down, we grab some food. We had some nice food. I get some drinks because girl, I needed to loosen the fuck up. I think I took one shot before I left for dinner because I was like, I just need to loosen up. And I think Brianna was staying at my house. I forget what. I think she was just staying at my house because she was in between like her apartment and getting a new apartment. So I just let her stay in my guest bedroom. So Brianna was staying and she was like hyping me up. She's like, you got this. And like I took a shot and I was like, whoo, okay, I got this. So yeah, I was like one shot in. We had some food. I think I got some pasta. She got a dish. We got like some cocktails. It was really good. I think I got like a spicy margarita. I love a good spicy margarita. And yeah, I just needed to loosen up. And honestly, it was like we had good conversation, but I think I was a little bit confused because it wasn't really like a flirty vibe. It was more so like a friend vibe, like how you would talk to a girl, like a friend. And not so much like a romantic friend. I don't know, like a partner. I don't know, like someone that you want to like fuck, like a I don't know, like someone you're interested in. But yeah, I just felt like it was very friend vibe. Like I think she was bisexual and I was bisexual. I don't know what her journey is, but at least for me, I did not know what the fuck I was doing. So we have like conversation. It was really cute. Like, you know, I think we talked about like being into girls and stuff like that. I think that was like the flirtiest that we got when we were talking about like our sexual experiences. And yeah, I don't know. I just like, I felt like it was more of like a friend vibe as opposed to a, you know, romantic vibe. Like, I want to fuck you vibe. Anyways. But yeah, at the end of the date, she kind of brings up, she's like, oh my God, my friend just hit me up and he asked me if we want to go to a party. It's literally walking distance from here. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. It's okay. Like, I was like, you know, I was feeling good. I was feeling pretty good. Like, we both look cute as fuck. Like, I don't know. It was a Friday. Oh yeah, it was a Friday. And I was just feeling good. We were like 1 or 2 drinks in. I was like feeling good. I was like, hell yeah, it's a Friday. Let's go to a party. So I was like, I'm down. And I paid for the fucking check. Bitch, why the fuck did I do that? Why the fuck did I do that? I paid for the check because I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Again, I don't know how these dynamics work. So I was like, okay, like, I guess I asked her out, right? Like, I should pay for the check, right? I don't know. I still don't really know, like, what I should have done at that point. But I ended up paying for the check. And then we head over to the party. It was like walking distance. It was so close. And I remember it was cold as fuck. We put our jackets on, we get to the party and it's cold as fuck, but I remember looking cute. We looked cute as fuck together. Like, I remember we were like both pulling up together and I was like, oh my God, why are we so cute? The guy that invited us to the party, he came down to go get us. And before we walk in, she goes, oh, by the way, I'm so sorry. This guy is like obsessed with me. But yeah, I just wanted to like warn you, he's like obsessed with me. I'm so sorry. And I was like, you know what? It's okay, girl. Like, you're cute. I'm cute. I get it. Like, guys are obsessed with me too. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, let's go. So I'm like really excited to go to this party. And like, you know, I feel like it'll kind of break the ice because I feel like, you know, obviously we had good conversation, but I don't feel like it was flirty. So I'm like, okay, at the party, I feel like we could, you know, have a drink or two, get a little bit more flirty, and see how things are. But I don't know. Like, I don't fucking know. Like, you know, when you're on a date with someone and like, you know, you kind of like you're like, haha, you're so funny. And you like touch each, like you're like, hold, like near your hands. Like, I don't know. Like, I just didn't get that vibe. Like, it very much felt like a friend vibe. And I was already insecure about it because this was my first date with a girl. I'm like, what the fuck do I do? Like, am I supposed to be more forward? Like, am I supposed to like, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what the fuck to do. So I was like, you know what? I'm nervous as fuck. Like, let's go to this party, whatever. So, we're kind of talking on the balcony and it's honestly going really good. Like, we're just talking on the balcony. The conversation is good. And I feel like the TikTok meme, you know, the TikTok meme when it's like, and then I hear this annoying little fucking voice. But yeah, basically we were having a really good conversation on the balcony. And this guy that is quote unquote obsessed with her keeps coming up to us. And at first I was like, oh my God, you're so fun. Because, you know, he's the kind of guy. He's like, oh, you guys want a shot? Oh, you guys want a drink? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, you know what? You're kind of fun. Like, let's go. Like, thank you for inviting us to this party. And then after a couple times of him interrupting us in our conversation, I was like, you know what? You're actually kind of annoying. Like, leave us the fuck alone. Like, it's almost like, you know, it's like one time it's like, oh my God, thank you so much for the drink. It's like 2 times it's like, oh, yay. Okay, yeah, maybe okay, I guess let's do another drink. 3 times it's like, okay, girl, that's enough. That's enough. And then the fourth time, it's like, girl, you're starting to piss me off. Like, stop annoying us. And it was something different every time. Like, it was like, oh, let's get a drink. Oh, how are you guys doing? Oh, blah, 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 blah. Do you guys need this? Oh, you guys are too pretty to be doing this. Oh, why are you guys outside? Oh, come inside. Like, blah, blah, blah. Kept interrupting us the whole fucking night. And I was like, ah, fucking hell. But yeah, that's when I kind of like, I put it in my notes. That's when I stopped drinking to not be nervous, and I started drinking for revenge because this man started annoying me. He started annoying the shit out of me. And that's when I started getting a little bit more spicy with it. And like, you know, like men are kind of like annoying, and you just kind of have to like turn up the spice. And I'm like, girl, why are you so obsessed with us? Like, you're genuinely so obsessed with us. Like, this is the fourth time that you came up to us. Like, you're so obsessed. But I was kind of doing it in like a funny way. I wasn't trying to be like so crazy. Yeah, I don't know. We were at the party, we were talking, and then there was a point where he kind of like joined the conversation, and it was all three of us. And then here's the part where she started entertaining it. What the fuck? Oh my god, this is when shit went down fucking hill. This is when you know, we kind of had like that one-on-one time. We're getting to know each other, and then the guy joins in, and it's like, you know, you know how men are, drunk men, annoying, ugly, gross drunk men. When they kind of like put their arm around you, they kind of touch you. They're like, you know, more flirty. And like, I'm not good at that shit. Like, especially I was so nervous on my first date. I was not good at that shit. And like, I was just like not being that forward. And he kept touching her, and he kept like doing this, sitting beside her, blah, 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 blah. And she started entertaining it. That's when, you know, I started being like, okay, what the fuck is going on here? I don't know what the fuck is going on. And once she started entertaining it, that's when I stopped drinking out of revenge, and I just like went through all the stages of grief. I had denial, I had anger, I had fucking like everything. I did all the stages of grief, and I just became simply over it. And I think there was a point where it was the three of us, kind of like, you know, when you're in a party, it's like the three of us that were talking, and like she's kind of facing me, I'm kind of facing her, and like we're mostly talking, the other person's like kind of there. There was a point where it was mostly her and him talking, they're facing each other. I became the fucking third wheel on my own date, bitch. On my own fucking date, I became the third wheel. And I think at that point, I'm like, kind of over it. I'm like a little bit drunk, and you know, he's touching her, he's putting his arm around her, like they're being flirty, like in front of my fucking face on my own date with this girl. Like, I don't know. I think like, you know, if she's bisexual, she had a thing for this guy. Like, you know, girl, it was our first date. Like, you know, you didn't have to bring me there to like watch you flirt with someone else. Like, she was fully flirting with someone else right in front of my fucking face. I was like, what the fuck is going on? But yeah, it just like, I was like, you know what? I feel like I'm personally third wheeling right now. I thought this was a date with us, but I guess not. And then the finale, and the thing that really just did it for me, is she goes, honestly, you know what? I think I'm actually gonna sleep here. So yeah, don't worry. Like, I think I'm good. I'm gonna sleep here, because I wanted to make sure that she got home safe. And I was like, okay, you're getting a little drunk. And she's like, oh, don't worry. Like, honestly, I think I might actually sleep here. Like, he's like my good guy friend. Like, blah blah blah. And I was like, girl, what the fuck? What the flying fuck? I think I'm gonna sleep here, bitch. What the fuck? I don't know. And like, that was the point where I was like, are y'all fucking, like, am I just here? Like, did I just, like, I don't even know. Like, am I even here right now? So yeah, that just like made me super insecure. And I was like, you know what? Y'all, I think the time has come. It's getting late. I'm going to call my Uber. So, you know, I'm like, whatever at this point. I'm like, I don't even know what's going on. I'm barely processing it. And I'm like, oh, my Uber is here. She's like, oh, don't worry. I'll walk you down to your Uber. And I was like, oh, this is so sweet. This is very nice. Like, this is a nice way to end the date. I'm like, oh, like, are we going to kiss? Like, I feel like, you know, on the first date, I'm like, you know, if you kiss, it's like, oh, yeah, that chemistry. Like, I don't know. I'm like excited. I'm like, oh, my God, I hope that we kiss right before the Uber. And we get to my Uber. I see my Uber. And she goes in to hug me. Yo, I have never felt, because you know what? When I feel rejection from men, it doesn't hurt as much. But when I feel rejection from women, that shit hurts like no other. That shit hurts like getting rejected by a woman is like almost as bad as getting rejected by 10 men all at once. Like, oh my God, that shit hurt so fucking bad. And like, I thought that she was gonna come in and kiss me, and she came in and hugged me, and I was like, what the fuck are you, my friend? Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, did you think this was a friend thing? Like, we didn't kiss. Like, we weren't really that flirty. You're flirting with another guy in front of me. I'm like, what the flying fuck? All these things are running in my head, and keep in mind that I'm a little bit drunk, a little bit tipsy. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So yeah, she hugs me. She says goodbye. She's like, oh my God, I would love to do this again sometime. And I'm like, girl, what the fuck is going on? You would like to do this again sometime? I don't know about that. So I get in the Uber. This is like top 5 most embarrassing moments of my entire life. I get in the Uber, and you know, the Uber, he barely speaks English. He's not playing music, and like I'm kind of like keeping to myself. I'm on my phone and I'm like being quiet, and I think he like notices something off about me, and he's like, "Oh, like how was your night?" And I was like, "It was good." And I start tearing up and crying. And I'm trying so hard not to go, you know, like, you know, the signs that you're crying. I'm trying to be silent as fuck, because how awkward is that? How's your night going? Oh, it's good. Starts crying. What the fuck? So I start fucking bawling my eyes out, because again, I'm tipsy and I'm very emotional, and my ego is really hurt, because I feel like I got rejected by this girl, because I thought that she was going to kiss me at the end. It felt like friend vibes. She wants to do this again, but I'm like, do I even want to do this again? Like, this felt like I literally just went out with one of my girlfriends. Like, it was not flirty at all. I was like, do I even like girls? Like, is this how all dates with the girls are? I'm like spiraling in this big, spiral, and I start bawling my eyes out, because I'm like, am I even bisexual? Do I even like girls? Like, does she even like me? Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, am I supposed to, date this type of person? Is she, is she gonna sleep with that guy? Blah, 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 blah. But you know what? I hope that she got something. I hope she got a little something at the end of the night, because all that I got was fucking trauma. And then and eventually we get to my house, and I open the door, and I'm literally bawling my eyes out, and Brianna's sitting on the couch. I vividly remember this. Brianna's sitting on the couch, and I am bawling my eyes out. She's like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "What the fuck happened?" And I'm like, "I don't know." Like, I like basically told her everything that happened, and I was like, I don't even know if I'm bisexual. Like, that was the worst date ever. Like, I don't know. She liked me. She's sleeping with this guy's house now. Like, I think she's gonna fuck that guy. Like, blah 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 blah. And I'm literally bawling my eyes out. This is when I took because I never really take pictures of myself crying, but low-key this was like funny as fuck. So I was like taking pictures of myself crying. I was like, what the fuck is my life? Like, I don't know what's going on. And like Brianna's like, you know what, girl? You just need some water, and you need to go to sleep. So she got me some water, and she took me the hell to sleep. And yeah, that was the story time of my worst date ever with a girl. My first date ever with a girl, actually. But yeah, again, I have had good experiences with girls after that. I think I was so nervous, and I put so much pressure on myself, and I think maybe the other girl, like, didn't really know what the vibe was, and I don't know. I think I just, it was honestly super invalidating going on a date with a girl and feeling like it was friend vibes, because I was like, am I not flirty enough? Am I not gay enough? Am I not good enough? Am I not hot enough? Am I not sexy enough? Am I not this enough? I feel like being bisexual is just like a constant struggle of feeling like, am I not X enough? Am I not this enough? Am I not that enough? Am I not blah blah enough? And am I, because I even seen TikToks of people talking about this, and they're like, there's even like this biphobia within the gay community. And I've so seen that. Like, I've gone on dates, or even just like talked with like lesbian girls, and they almost like don't take you as serious because you're like bisexual. Like, I genuinely feel like everybody thinks that it's like a phase, but it's a very like valid sexuality. And I used to like be so insecure about it for years, up until recently. I have felt so insecure about my sexuality, because being bisexual just basically feels like I'm not this enough, I'm not that enough, I'm not gay enough, I'm not straight enough, I'm not this enough, I'm not flirty enough, am I not, like, and you're like, am I even bisexual? Like, should I just like choose an easier sexuality? Because like being bisexual is such a push and pull. Like, it's so fucking annoying. But after, experimenting and, talking to different people and going on different dates and getting to know different people, having new experiences, it's like saying you go on a bad date with a guy. Your first date with a guy is bad. It's like not all dates with guys will be bad. It's the same. It's like not all dates with girls will be bad if your first date with a girl is bad. You know what I mean? And I also saw something that was like, oh, how do you even know if you're bisexual if you don't even hook up with girls? Because like back then I was thinking that to myself. I was like, how do I even know if I'm bisexual if I've never hooked up with some girls? And like, I don't even know, like blah, blah, blah. But like, think about it. How did you know that you were straight if you didn't ever have sex with a guy? Like, you just fucking know. Think about it. Like, I don't know. It's like, you just know. Like, hooking up with someone to prove your sexuality, that doesn't prove anything to anyone. Like, it's just, you're just you and you just like what you like. And that's just that. And I feel like for so long, I felt like I had to overcompensate and I had to go on dates with girls. I had to go and hook up with girls. I had to, try and be in a relationship with girls to be bisexual. But that's not the case. You could be bisexual because you feel bisexual. That's it. Like, no one can take that away from you. Like, if you are just attracted to something, then that's just it. Like, you don't have to hook up with someone to prove that your sexuality, Like, you don't have to have sex with a guy to prove that you're straight. So why do you have to hook up with a girl to prove that you're bisexual or prove that you're lesbian? I wish that I knew that back in the day, because I feel like that was something that I struggled with so much and that I wish that I didn't focus on so much, because I was like, how do I know if I don't, force myself to like go out on dates with girls and like hook up with girls, even though like, I don't know, like just take it at your own pace. Like, I feel like I rushed so much into it to prove to myself that I was bisexual, to prove to other people that I'm bisexual, and to prove, but just go at your own pace. You don't have to rush anything. You don't have to do anything. Like, you can be bisexual and never hook up with a girl. You could be bisexual and never go on a date with a girl. Like, it's just sexuality. And like, is it going to change the world that that's your sexuality and the blah, blah, blah? Like, no. But is it going to feel like you're your true authentic self? And when you say it out loud and you say that you're bisexual, do you feel like more like yourself? Hell yeah. And you know what I always say? I don't know if I explained this. Oh, I said this in one of my vlogs for Vlogmas, but like, I don't know. I feel like I used to always think, why do people do coming out videos? Like, they're just doing it for attention, like blah, 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 blah. Saying that you're bisexual and you're not in a relationship with a girl, like, oh, that's just like, you just want attention. But no, being a sexuality is almost like, this is what I say to people who don't understand, is say that everybody's favorite color is blue. And you're like, you know what? I actually don't really agree with everyone. Like, I actually don't really fucking like blue. Like, you know what? I actually kind of like purple. And like, does it change the world that I like purple? Is it groundbreaking that I like purple? No, it's not. And like, it's not going to change the world. And, that everybody likes blue and I like purple. But if I say and come out that I like purple, then, maybe I can meet other people that also like purple, and I could feel like my true authentic self, because I'm not lying to people saying that I like blue. I actually like purple, and I'm being true to myself, and I'm being authentic to myself, and I feel good about myself because I'm being true and authentic, and I'm saying what I like, and I'm saying, what I'm into. And when you say it, you attract other people that maybe also like purple, and you can meet other people that also like purple. And, that's just how I kind of like look at it. Because I don't know, I feel like when I was in my like straight era, I was like, I feel like before I came out, I was low key a little bit homophobic, like not towards other people, like towards myself, in the sense that like I loved when like people were out and like slay, we love the gays. But I think when I saw like characters, like, say, I used to watch Glee, and I used to be so weird about the characters of Santana and Brittany, because they used to like be girlfriends, and I'd be like, oh my god, that's so fucking weird. Like, I would be so judgmental, low-key a little bit homophobic towards them, and it would be like, babes, like, the reason why you feel like that is because you want to be like that. Like, babes, the reason why you're a little bit homophobic is because they're out and you wish that you were. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of embarrassing to admit because obviously you never want to admit that, you know, you were judgmental of someone else and that you were wrong and blah, 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 blah. But that's just, you know, how it was. And I've talked to other bisexual girls and lesbian girls and they said that they went through the same thing. Yeah, that was my story time of my first time that I went on a date with a girl and the worst date that I've ever had with a girl. Since then, she, you know, we would like talk and she'd be like, oh, I'd love to do it again. But I'm like, girl, I think it would be too much trauma to be open up that Pandora's box anytime soon. So we have not gone on a date ever since then. But I've gone on other good dates and honestly, it's been really good. And if my advice to you is if you ever have a bad date with a girl and you're feeling really insecure about your sexuality, girl, think of it if you were straight. Imagine if you were straight and you went on a bad date with a guy. What would you tell your best friend? You'd be like, girl, not all men are like that. Like, there's good men out there. Like, you'll find someone. Like, that was just one bad date. Tell it to yourself because, you know, it's tough out here. And, like, before I made a lot of, like, gay and bisexual friends, I feel like I felt very alone and I didn't really know what I was doing. And then once I made a lot more gay and bisexual friends, I felt a lot better to, like, talk about it and, you know, be more open with it. But yeah. Now it is time for What Would Rihanna Do? Under my umbrella, Ella, hey, here's my things that I would do if I was Rihanna. Don't sue me, please, because I love you. This is just what I think you would do because Rihanna's like my number one. I fucking love that bitch. Like, ride or die for that bitch. And whenever I'm trying to pretend to be confident, I pretend that I'm Rihanna. So that's what I do. What would Rihanna do? Someone asked, why, because it's anonymous. Someone asked, why do I feel so attached to someone that I have never been with? Girl, haven't we all been there and done that? Why is it the situationships that hurt the most and people who you actually get to know that you actually were in relationships with, why did that not hurt as much? I always feel like some situationships hurt me more than actual relationships. You know why? Because you are getting heartbroken over someone that doesn't exist. You're getting heartbroken over someone that you think exists, that you made up in your head. And instead of knowing every little thing about them, every little thing that pisses you off, that makes you feel good, that makes you feel bad, like blah, 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 knowing them inside and out, you fill it in with your ideal, perfect information that you have in your head. It's not actually them. It's the version of them that you created in your head. That's why it hurts more than actually breaking up with someone that you got into a relationship with. Because, you know, when you're in a relationship, you fight, you learn the good, the bad about them, you know, blah, 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 blah. It's a long time coming. Then, you know, blah, 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 blah. You know how it goes. But when you break up with a situationship, first of all, things are so open-ended, I feel like, with situationships because you don't want to be crazy. You know, sometimes it's just like ghosting, and it honestly really hurts when it's just ghosting. And it really hurts because you think that they're perfect because all of the things that you don't know about them, you filled with little perfect little bubbles in your head. And you're like, oh no, he's probably so nice to his mom. He's probably this. He's probably that. She's probably this. She's probably that. And it's not the case. A lot of the time. I always tell myself that because I always feel so like heartbroken when I'm like, oh, it's like a ghosting. It was like a little situationship. And like, why do I feel so attached to someone that I don't even know? But that's the reason why. It's because you don't know them. You know the version of them that you made up in your head. The next question says, how to not feel embarrassed about how your ass or titties look. Well, they didn't say ass or titties, they put the cherry emoji and the peach emoji. But you know when Drake, in the song, he goes, loves the way they... I fucking can't do it. He's like, love the way they hang, babe. Fuck the silicone. Everybody's fake now. You could crack the code. You know what? Some bitches are so obsessed with porn. I actually saw this comment one time, and this guy left a hate page on this girl's account, and he was like, why you built like an iPhone? And then she responded and she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Let me go get some plastic surgery for you. Like, that was like honestly fucking iconic when she responded. Like, I feel like some people are just so obsessed with porn, and they think that porn is real life and everybody is fake ass and everybody is fake tits and blah, 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 blah. Like, I've definitely been in that stage where I was like, oh my God, like, should I get things done? Like, should I do this? Should I do that? But I fucking love natural bodies, and I love natural faces, and I love the way that, like, you know, bodies look naturally. Obviously, like, do what you want to do. I also love the look of fake boobs. I love the look of, you know, bing, bong, boom, boom, boom. Like, do whatever makes you confident. It doesn't matter what I think. It only matters what you think at the end of the day. But I struggled with this so much. Like, I'd be like, oh my God, my, like, boobs are saggy, or my butt's not big enough, or like blah, 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 blah. But like, it's natural for like big boobs to sag, girl. Like, love the way they hang, babe. Fuck the silicone. Like, I fucking love that. I love that you said that. Honestly, Drake is a real one putting that in. Honestly, the way that Drake talks about women in his raps, fucking love that shit. That's why we stand Drake in this household. Also, we are from Toronto. But I don't know. I feel like I used to be so insecure about my boobs and my butt, and, you know, watching porn and blah, blah, blah. But this is going to sound so creepy, but you know what made me feel better about myself is just going, I don't know, just like seeing normal bodies. Like, this might sound creepy, but I don't give a fuck. I'm just going to say it. Like, changing in the women's change room, you really just realize, like, women that are in their 40s and, like, you know, they're just out and about, like, fucking change. They don't hide anything. Like, they just change in front of everyone, and you see them and you're like, you know what? Her boobs are kind of saggy, but, like, she's kind of rocking it. And, like, honestly, she looks kind of good. And, like, I don't know. I feel like we're so used to, like, seeing porn, and, like, we think that that's, like, you know, what everybody looks like, and that is, like, normal. And, like, I don't know, even, like, looking back at it now, I'm like, oh my God, porn, low-key, the porn industry is, like, so fucked up. And, like, there's so many things that, you know, is, like, kind of, like, brainwashing guys and girls and, like, young people. And it's so sad because I feel like I didn't learn anything healthy about sex and my sexuality from porn. It's just, like, overstimulation and like unrealistic expectations, and, you know, thinking that feels good. And then, like, also just, like, the way that men treat women in porn is just, like, not the way that, I don't know, I like to have sex. Like, maybe some people like to have sex like that, but I don't know. I feel like sex can be so, like, heartwarming and a special bond and, like, really loving, and, like, people call it making love for a reason. Like, it feels like you're literally just, like, making love, and it's, like, really special. Like, I don't know, like, you have sex, like, create a fucking baby. Like, I don't know, I feel like nowadays, like, porn is so, like, rough and, like, blah, 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 blah. And, like, don't get me wrong, I love a good, like, rough once in a while, but I feel like that's all that porn is. And it's just, like, huge fake butts and huge fake tits and huge this, huge lips, huge, you know, huge everything. And then, you know, you watch that and then you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, I don't look like that. Like, I don't have huge lips, and I don't have big tits, and I don't have a big ass, and, like, my stomach isn't small like theirs. And, like, but you have to realize, like, they had so many things done, and, you know, it's like, I don't know, like, the way that I think of it is, like, you know, I do a lot of things for social media. Like, you know, I buy this microphone for social media. I'll, like, I literally am not going anywhere today. I did my hair and makeup for social media. So, you know, if your job is porn, of course, you're going to do things for your job. And, like, I don't know, like, you get things done. And I don't know, I don't want it to sound bad. Like, I really do respect, sex workers, and I think that they're fucking awesome, and, like, hell yeah. Like, dude, I found out that there's more money in the sex industry than there are in multiple sports combined. There's so much money in the sex industry, and they're just fucking killing it. But I do think that there is something to be said about, you know, porn being unethical and being just, like, unhealthy to watch at certain points. And it has nothing to do with, like, you know, the people that are in it. It's about the industry, and it's about, like, the websites and, like, the things that they push on people. And, like, the videos that they push to get views and this, it's like, it kind of like brainwashes us that we need to have huge fake tits, and we need to have huge fake ass, and we need to have huge fake lips and blah, 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 blah. But when you really, I don't know, I feel like when I finally like saw a real woman, and you know what even is really cute? I went to the Vatican Museum in Italy, and they have all of these sculptures of like beautiful naked women, like with, their saggy boobs and their big bellies and their butts. And I'm like, that's literally what I fucking look like. Like, my boobs hang like that. I have a little bit of a stomach, and my ass isn't huge like Kim Kardashian's like huge BBL ass. Like, it's like what a normal body looks like. I don't know. I think that there's something so beautiful about the woman's body, and I feel like porn just does not encapsulate it at all. I never see like, men praising women and like treating us like the goddesses that we are. Like, sometimes I feel like we forget that we're goddesses, and like we literally create life. Like, we're literally mini goddesses walking around the world, and we don't even fucking act like it. Like, I don't know. I feel like for so many years of my life, I was so insecure, and I was so sad about my body, and I was never enough, and blah, 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 blah. But I found that like not watching as much unethical porn and looking at real normal bodies and looking at art of beautiful women's bodies just really made me appreciate my body a lot more. And even just going to the gym, like putting work and putting effort into your body, like it didn't even matter if I had crazy results. I ended up liking my body more. And I feel like some people are like, oh, like your body looks the same, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't feel the same. Like, I felt good about my body. Like, I felt like I was putting effort into it. I was putting love into it. I was doing cardio. I was, doing this, doing that, doing Pilates, whatever it is. And I felt good about it because I was like putting effort into it, and I felt strong and I felt powerful. Like, there's so much more to your body than huge tits, tiny waist, huge ass, and like being skinny, being this. It's like you're never enough of something. You're never skinny enough. You're never thick enough. You're never this enough. You're never that enough. You're never gonna win with people. So you might as well just find something that works for you and embrace what you have, because it's the only body that you'll ever have. And if something makes you insecure, hell yeah, get it done. And feel good about yourself. And if something makes you like, go to the gym, and like, I promise you that you'll feel so good about it. Like, genuinely look at women's bodies and real like real human like women's bodies, and really appreciate, I don't know, the art of like the woman figure, and not this, I don't know. I feel like this segment of the podcast makes me feel like I'm like bashing people for getting things done, but it's not the case. Like, I love when my friends like get their things done and they feel so good about that. Like, all that really matters at the end of the day is that you feel confident and that you feel good about yourself. And the things that make me feel bad is watching unethical porn. So I stopped doing that. I started watching, like regular, I don't know. And I started, appreciating the woman's body, and like really looking at art of like women's bodies, and like even just like, in the change room, like really owning the shit that I got, and like not trying to hide, like just like, even if you like go to a nude beach, like, I don't know, just like look at real women's bodies and like see how they own it. And like, it's like such a beautiful thing. Like, women's bodies are so pretty and gorgeous, and I'm like in love with it. I have like so many pictures and candles of like naked women's bodies, because we are literally so beautiful. And like all different shapes and forms. And I feel like sometimes the like social media and the media really tricks us into, having these insecurities, like having a tummy that's normal, having saggy boobs that's normal, having, not a huge dump truck of a fucking basketball looking ass, that's normal. But if that's something that you like, then get it done, because at the end of the day, nothing matters. Like, I don't know. This is just like from my personal experience of not liking the way that my boobs and my ass and my body looks. And I feel like a lot of it stems from comparing myself to porn and comparing myself to people who have got things done. So I don't know. I just don't want people to think that I'm like, bashing anybody that gets things done, because it's just like from my personal experience, I feel like these things have made me feel insecure within myself. And these are things that I had to overcome and like really learn to just embrace my body and embrace my natural, curves. And yeah. Anyways, that was a huge segment. But I don't know. I just wanted to talk about it because I feel like it's super important. And it's something that I really wish that I heard growing up, because nobody talks about it. And I don't know. I think I even saw Billie Eilish talk about porn, and she said almost kind of the same thing. Like, it's really fucking with our brains and it's fucking with our minds, like in so many different ways, like with our body image issues, with the way that we think that porn is, the way that we think sex is, and blah, 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 blah. Like, I really had to unlearn the things that I learned from porn and relearn it by educating myself with books, with like even Netflix shows, like with talking about it with my friends. Like, I don't know, it's really toxic. Okay, and final question. I think this will be the last question of the podcast. But someone asked, can you talk about the intimacy with women versus men in terms of relationships? I have so many thoughts on this. Obviously, like, I've been dating men longer than I've been dating women, but this is like what I've gathered within the time that I have been dating women. Is I heard something that said that men will never fully understand women and can break your heart, but women will fully understand you and like shatter you to pieces. I don't know if that's exactly the quote that it said, but something along the lines of that. And I thought that it was so true. Like, men will fully, like, never 100% fully understand how you're feeling, and with periods and like your emotions and blah, 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 what you're going through. Men will never 100%, like maybe, 90%, 99% understand, but they will never 100% understand what you're going through. But women will. And when you break up with a man, obviously it's really sad and it's really heartbreaking. But when you break up with a woman, that is a heartbreak that I can't even begin to imagine. Yeah, Blue just said it. Did you hear her little snort? But something about like women relationships is so passionate and so, I don't know. You know what they say? They say that, lesbians, they go on a date and they bring a suitcase with them because they're ready to move in the next day. Like, that's literally how it is. Like, I just feel like women relationships, like, they're just ready to move in. They're ready to be in a relationship. They're ready to, they're emotionally available. They're ready to move in. Like, that's what they say about lesbians. Or no, what do they say? They bring a U-Haul. They say that lesbians show up to the date with a U-Haul because they're ready to move in. Like, that's how lesbian relationships, I feel like, work. Me and my friends always joke about that. They like go to the date with a U-Haul. That's a thing. But whereas I feel like with men, it's so different. Again, it's like, it's very, it's so different. It's like, you can't even compare. It's like comparing apples and oranges. But I don't know. I feel like both are so beautiful, and both are so fun and so intimate and so, everything. But they're just both so different. And do I like one over the other? I don't know. I feel like, but like sexuality is like a spectrum, and like, say, like, men 50%, women 50%, men 70%, women 30%, blah, 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 blah. I think that sexuality is a spectrum, and I don't know. I feel like everyone's like at least 1% gay. At least. Like, they may suppress it, but I feel like everybody thinks about it, like, at least a little bit. And like, maybe they're mostly straight, but I feel like everybody's like 1% at least. I don't know. Sexuality is definitely a spectrum. But I don't know. But yeah, I think that the intimacy between women and men, I think women are very passionate and they're very, they will always 100% understand you and get you. Whereas sometimes I feel like men can't. But I think there's also something like about the dynamic of the divine masculine and the divine feminine and that how that affects your relationship. But yeah, I guess that's it. That was my questions. What would Rihanna do? But I hope that you guys enjoyed today's podcast episode, Girl Talk. Yeah. If you guys aren't already, make sure that you follow my spam account. It's not Adeline on Instagram. That's where I got all of your questions. I don't ask on my main ever. I always ask on my spam because that's where the dedicated fam is. So it's NOTADELAINE on Instagram. If you guys want to check it out, it's my spam account and it's private. So it's a secret club. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's vlog or today's podcast. What the fuck? I'm also wearing my Girl Supporting Girls Y2K set. This one is sold out. This was the pink one from last year, but we still have the gray one available and it's on sale. So if you guys want to check it out, just go on adelinemoore.com or Google search Girl Supporting Girls. It'll be one of the first things to pop up. And yeah, check out the Y2K set because it's so comfy, so cozy. Everyone that buys it, they're always like, Adeline, this is the comfiest, coziest set that I've ever had. Like, and honestly, I think it's on sale. It's $45 for the top, $45 for the bottom right now. And I'm telling you, I saw Juicy Couture sets like this, same quality, same everything, and it was $150 for the top, $150 for the bottom. So all I'm saying is Girl Supporting Girls is a good deal and you should check it out. But yeah, I love you guys. I'll see you guys next Wednesday. I'll be here, same place, same time. If you guys want to chat, every Wednesday. But yeah, I love you guys. I'll be here, same place, same time. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye. Did you like that episode? I really hope that you did. If you haven't already, then make sure to watch last week's episode or the week after. Just click on the links, whatever it is. And I hope that you guys enjoyed. Also, be sure to subscribe because it helps me a lot. But I love you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Bye.
Feel it rush, sipping on Hawaiian punch. Squeeze the sides, feel it rush, sipping on Hawaiian punch. Oh, you like all this gush? Oh no, you can't get enough. Sipping on Hawaiian.